All right, let's dive into the story that took the world by storm, SPY Family. We're breaking down that very first episode to see how a master spy gets handed his toughest mission ever. And it's not what you think. It's becoming a dad.
Okay, so this quote really gets to the heart of our main guy, the master spy, known only as Twilight. For him, this isn't just a 9 to 5. No, he's completely erased his old self. He truly believes that things like family, love, happiness, they're just weaknesses a spy can't afford. Well, that's all about to get thrown right out the window.
So, where are we? We get dropped right into this really tense world of espionage. Think Cold War vibes between two rival nations, Westalis and Ostonia. Here, secrets are the ultimate weapon, and just one slip-up could plunge the whole world into war.
And in this crazy, high-stakes game, there's one agent who's a cut above the rest, Twilight. I mean, this guy is a total legend, a ghost. He gave up his past, his name, everything to protect the future. And when we meet him, he's just effortlessly finishing up one mission, proving nobody's secrets are safe from him.
But, a spy's work is never done. The second one mission ends, a brand new one lands on his desk. And this one? It's way more critical. We're talking about the fate of the world hanging in the balance. It's called Operation Strix. The target is this guy, Donovan Desmond. He's a really shadowy political figure who's pushing for war. The problem is, he's practically a ghost. The only place he ever shows his face is at these fancy parties at the super elite private school his son goes to. So, the only way in is through the school. And this leads to the most ridiculous mission plan ever. For a guy who's spent his entire life avoiding personal connections, he now has to build the perfect little family. He needs a wife, and he needs a kid, all just to create a cover to get into a school. And here's the real kicker. You want to know the timeline for this impossible task? 7 days. That's it. He has to find a kid, set up a home, and get them prepped for the entrance exam of one of the world's most exclusive schools in 1 week. The pressure is just insane. So, to pull this off, Twilight sheds his old identity and becomes Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist. And task number 1 on his bizarre to-do list? Go find a child smart enough to get into Eden College. He ends up at this pretty sketchy-looking orphanage, and logically, he's looking for some kind of child prodigy who can ace the difficult entrance exam. But the kid he finds, well, she is not what he was expecting. Her name is Anya. Lloyd is just about to write her off, but then, out of nowhere, she seems to solve this super hard crossword puzzle from the newspaper in like 2 seconds. He's floored. He immediately thinks she's a secret genius, a prodigy, who's just perfect for the mission. He adopts her right there on the spot. Easiest step ever, right? Yeah, but Anya isn't a genius. At least not in the way Lloyd thinks. See, she's got a secret of her own, and it's a whopper. It's going to complicate this mission in ways Lloyd can't even begin to imagine. Here's the truth. Anya is a telepath. She can read minds. She didn't actually solve that crossword puzzle. She just pulled the answers right out of Lloyd's head. Turns out, she's an escapee from some secret lab, and all she's ever wanted is a family. And this is where things get really fun for us, right? Because we're in on the joke. Lloyd thinks he's the one in control, running this elaborate deception. But from the second they meet, Anya knows he's a spy. And to her, getting adopted by a secret agent is the coolest thing that has ever happened. So Lloyd, who can decode enemy transmissions and topple governments, is now completely stumped by this little kid. He's so out of his element, he actually has to turn to parenting books for advice. He's quickly learning that raising a kid is its own kind of dangerous mission. And, yeah, the future of the world literally depends on it. But you just knew things weren't going to stay quiet for long. This brand new, fragile little family is about to get a serious reality check when Lloyd's spy world comes crashing into his new home life. So while Lloyd's out, some goons from his last mission track him to his new apartment. They find Anya there, assume she's his real daughter, and snatch her to use as leverage against him. And this forces Lloyd into an impossible corner. What does he do? Does he cut his losses and abandon this fake kid to protect his identity in Operation Strix? Or does he risk everything, the mission, his cover, world peace, to go save her? But then he hears Anya crying, and something inside him just breaks. It brings back memories of his own childhood as a scared, lonely war orphan, a past he thought he had locked away forever when he became the spy, Twilight. It all comes rushing back. the real reason he became a spy in the first place. It wasn't for a country or for some ideology. It was to create a world where kids like he was, kids like Anya, would never have to cry like that again. And in this incredible moment, he goes full Twilight mode, takes down the entire group of kidnappers by himself, and gets her back. Okay, deep breath. First crisis averted. They seem to be back on track. Lloyd even manages to cram enough information into Anya's head for her to pass the written exam. But of course, it's not that easy. There's always another hurdle. Just when they think they're in the clear, a letter arrives from the school. Great news, they passed the first stage. But now they're being summoned for the next step in the process, the all-important family interview.
And here's the catch, a big one. The school is super old-fashioned and has this ironclad policy. The student must show up with both parents. Not one, both. And there are absolutely no exceptions.
And that's where we're left, with this huge question hanging in the air. The mission just got 1,000,000 times harder. Lloyd has his daughter, but now he needs a wife, and he needs one, like, yesterday. How is the world's greatest spy possibly going to solve that problem? Well, that just sets the stage for the rest of this amazing story.